Hello, I just done with work. I don't know what to even talk about right now. This is cool. So I was moving and I was digging out my old stuff and I found this camera of mine. I got obsessed with cameras for a little bit and I got this camera and I got this lens and I was like, oh yeah, cool. And then I didn't do anything with it for a few years, but I found it and I was like, okay, cool. And then the next piece was getting like a shoulder strap that I like, and then that turns it into just like an accessory that's just like a part of your body. Um, it, then it instead of like, oh, I'm gonna bring my camera out and it's like a big deal. Instead, it's like, or like something you have to be mindful of, like something you got to keep in a pocket or in a bag or in your hand. This thing just lets you just like sling it on and not really think about it until you want to think about it, which is great. And then when you see something you want to snap, you just bring it around and you just snap. And this is a really fast camera with a fast lens as well, so it's really conducive to that, like, oh, quick photo or something while you're moving and they're moving. So that's cool. Sony a6000. It has some, it's an old camera and has some dinky things about it. Like, it doesn't have a microphone jack. What is that? But there are other good things about it. Yeah. So that's cool. And then yeah, like it can become like a part of like the default everyday carry this way. And like sometimes I go out with it. And then maybe half the time I go out with it, I don't end up actually taking any photos at all. But then it's there for when there is something you want to take a photo of. And it just starts to develop an eye for things. Like, I noticed that over time I started to like see things more in terms of like, oh, that's a cool shot. And then I'm like walking around trying to like line it up and get it looking right, take a few, and then later on when you're editing them, a lot of the time half or more of the photos you take are gonna look like crap and not be worth anything. But then you miss every shot you don't take, and some of them turn out really cool, and then you've got something there. And I don't even post them at the moment anyway. I'm still trying to figure out my storage system. I went through like a disaster. Luckily I had some stuff backed up, but goddamn, that's a whole terrifying aspect of things, is the backing up. And then there's got to be like some kind of process or way to actually get through the photos so that you end up with something that's not just a write only, no read folder. I want to actually be able to get value out of it later on, instead of it going on some folder on the computer or in some drive that's just in a closet, never to be seen again. I want to actually have this stuff like accessible and like at hand. So I'm still working on like what is the system going to be that I have for storing these photos, for backing up these photos, for curating these photos, so that I have them accessible, because that's what I want. I've been using a Raspberry Pi. It's been kind of janky, like it's hit and miss. That might be the technology limitations of the Raspberry Pi, in which case I might have to start looking at the next level up of a small at-home server computer. I have an old MacBook from like 2012, might be good for it. I don't know if that means putting server software just straight on the MacBook, having it on all the time, plugged in, and just like conserving power but also serving, or to flash Linux onto it, give it some more efficiency that way. Could be a go. And on a laptop you've got the head unit of it built in. Whenever you need to like get into there and do some stuff on it, you've got a screen, you've got a keyboard, you've got a trackpad. Oh, it could be. This is a rambling discussion, but yeah. And it's rambling because I'm continuing this theme of doing things unfiltered. See, this to me, I don't know, there's something compelling about the visual here. And there's a tram. So, yeah, and boom, that was that. I don't know if any of those photos are going to turn out good. Sometimes you line it up and you be careful about it and you make a good photo. But other times you're just like, oh yeah, bust it out, put it away, and see if they turn out good later on. That's a cool way to go about it as well. And then just not staying attached to the outcome. If you're going to be like, oh, I wish I had framed that a little bit differently when I had the opportunity, then I guess, that's something you learn for next time. Ooh. This log is wobbly. Oh, fuck. Cool.